How's it going, YouTube? My name is Ari and welcome to Blue Lion Finance, a channel dedicated to investing in my personal journey to amassing $100,000 with my Vanguard brokerage account. Now, since my last video, we are up by $96.53, bringing my account to $83,195.27. In terms of the state of the market, not a whole lot has changed since my last video. We are still riddled with fear and inflationary scares, rightfully so. I mean, all of this is just calling for mass uncertainty in the market.
Destroy money! Why?
We're heading for some volatile days, in my opinion. However, there is still, in fact, opportunity that is out there, especially during the volatile days, picking up high-quality stocks where they're on sale. Now, the good news is, as of a couple of days ago, President Joe Biden just signed into law a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. So there's where the gold lies as of today. We can take a look at 3 high-quality infrastructure stocks to invest in, not only just for the near term, but for the long-term future, and just kick back, relax, and the dividends that they pay out. So a video you're not going to want to miss out on. Just before we jump in, make sure you go ahead, tap on that thumbs up button as it helps me grow the Blue Lion Finance channel. And of course, if you haven't joined me on this journey already, go ahead, tap on that subscribe button while you're at it. I would absolutely love to have you along this journey with me. Now, YouTube, let's go ahead and dive right in. Ladies and gentlemen, what a historic week it has been thus far, with President Joe Biden signing into law a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill after months worth of negotiating. I gotta be honest, America is certainly in need of a bill of this size. We have not seen an infrastructure bill of any sort of this size since the 1950s. So in my personal opinion, this is honestly amazing for America, and we're honestly playing catch up to the rest of the world. Not a politician here, I'll end that rant there, but as an investor speaking to investors, I want to break down just a bit of where the money is going, because in understanding where the money is going, we can make better, wiser investment decisions for our personal portfolios. So with that being said, we have $110 billion being put forth towards new roads and bridges. $55 billion is going to be put forth towards clean water, $66 billion going towards passenger rail, $65 billion towards power and energy, another $42 billion here for airports, waterways, and ports, $65 billion towards broadband internet, $7.5 billion towards electric vehicles, and another $7.5 billion we put forth towards low or zero emissions buses for a better, safer, greener tomorrow. And understanding that that's where the money is going, we can go ahead and double down on these 3 high quality infrastructure stocks that are not just going to be exceptional plays for the near term, but certainly the long-term future, as they all pay out dividends. So the very first company I want to talk about is Vulcan Materials. That's ticker symbol VMC. Vulcan Materials is a construction materials company that primarily focuses on construction aggregates. Aggregates are essentially crushed stone, gravel, and sand. What do you know? All things that are necessary for the construction of roads, bridges, dams, and of course buildings. And we have $110 billion worth of this infrastructure going to those very projects. So certainly Vulcan Materials is going to be one of those chosen companies. And in taking a look at Vulcan Materials, since their founding in 1909, they've actually become one of the most dominant players in the industry. Just taking a look at their recent history, 43% of their aggregate shipments have actually been made out for public construction projects. So go figure, Vulcan Materials is going to be one of those companies that is certainly going to benefit from this very infrastructure bill. Now, in just taking a look at their revenue in the past 3 quarters or so, we can see that they brought in $160.61 million in March of 2021, $195.34 million in June, and then $176.91 million in September. So a heck of a year. And again, here with this infrastructure bill being passed, we can expect that Vulcan Materials is only going to continue to rise in terms of its stock share price Analysts have those very same predictions, with a median stock share price coming in at $220 per share and a high stock share price of $245 per share. At this current moment, Vulcan Materials is trading for around $200 per share. So there you are, a ton of growth in the future for Vulcan Materials. Now, most importantly, it is a dividend investment. If you're going to get into it, you can collect on Vulcan Materials dividend with a current dividend yield sitting at 0.73%. Now, I know what you're thinking as a dividend investor, that's really not the biggest dividend in the world, and that is true, but certainly you have to keep in mind that an investor getting into Vulcan Materials is also taking advantage of this company's stock share price growth. So either way, there is money to be made from Vulcan Materials. Moving right along to our second infrastructure stock pick, we have Nucor, ticker symbol NUE. Nucor, since its founding in 1940, has established itself as the most dominant, largest steel manufacturer within the United States. And of course, as many of you are probably well aware, in order to build roads, bridges, dams, building construction, I mean, it all takes steel, and this is exactly where Nucor comes in. Now, they've been having a heck of a year thus far, given the pent-up demand from 2020. So in just taking a look at some of their 2021 earning reports, we could see they brought in $942.43 million in April of 2021, $1.51 billion in July, and another $2.13 billion in October. Now, as of recent, their stock share price actually took a dip, falling from around $126 per share to around $111. That's about a 13% dip. But nonetheless, analysts out there are only projecting that Nucor is going to continue to grow, and we can take a look at their expectations coming in at $142 at a high stock share price per share, exactly the type of growth that I'm looking for. Now, most importantly is to understand that investing in Nucor is also going to allow you to take advantage of their dividend, with their dividend yield currently sitting at 1.44%. And last but certainly not least, we have my all-time favorite infrastructure stock pick, that being Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT. Caterpillar is a company that was founded back in 1925, and of course it has ultimately become the world's largest leading manufacturer of construction machinery and equipment, as well as engines. Now, that is incredibly important because in taking a look at this infrastructure bill, we can invest in all the raw material companies in the world, but at the end of the day, we need the actual machines and equipment as well as engines to put that all together. So with that being said, Caterpillar is going to be at the root of all of this infrastructure spending across the board. This is the type of company, the cream of the crop, you look into if you're interested in getting invested in infrastructure plays. Now, in order to illuminate the type of powerhouse of a construction play that Caterpillar is, we can go back a few quarters and see that in March, they brought in $1.53 billion. In June, they brought in $1.41 billion. And then to close out September, they brought in $1.43 billion. Now, in the midst of all of the negotiating that was taking place, Caterpillar certainly took a hit in terms of their stock share price, falling from around $244 per share down to around $205 per share, creating about a 19% dip. But now, with the passage of this infrastructure bill, here we are with analyst expectations coming in at a median stock share price of $235 per share and a high stock share price of, get this, $301 per share. So that is monumentous growth that I'm looking to take part of. Now, in terms of Caterpillar's dividend, this is ultimately what I love about Caterpillar, is they've been paying it out for 28 consecutive years, increasing it year over year. Right now, their dividend yield is sitting at 2.12%. So literally the most ideal infrastructure stock that I think an investor can get invested into. Now, that is it, YouTube. Between Vulcan, Nucor, and Caterpillar, the three infrastructure stocks that I'm throwing out there for all of you to take a look at. Do your own due diligence before investing into any of them. I am by no means a financial advisor, but certainly would love to understand your thoughts on these three infrastructure stocks, and of course, the stocks that you may be investing into when it comes to infrastructure plays. Drop those comments below. Now, help me grow the Blue Lion Finance channel and getting the word out there by tapping on that thumbs up button, and most importantly, join me on this journey by tapping on that subscribe button while you're at it. Now, YouTube, until the next video, I will see you all there.